Welcome back to the channel. This is The Casuals. I'm Jin.
And I'm Saki.
And today's episode is our second anniversary. It is finally here. As of, the day we're recording this, we're only about a couple days off-ish from our exact anniversary, but it's pretty much within the same time frame at this point. And by the time this video comes out, it's going to be very close. So, 2 years ago, we started this channel. And for 2 years, every week we have released an episode, which is crazy to think about. I think that's minimum 104, right?
52 times 2, right?
Yeah,
I think so.
104. So we have at least 104 episodes. I think it's actually closer to like 106 or something, I think, because there was, I think, a couple extra episodes. But we did not expect to get to this point early on when we were first starting out this channel.
Oh yeah, no. I'm surprised. I'm just as surprised as you are.
Like, I think we were like, oh, maybe we'll have enough content for 1 year. 1 year came by. We're like, oh, we've done pretty well. Maybe another half a year. 6 months. 6 months comes by. We still had more episodes to do. And now we're at 2 years. And it's kind of amazing to think about because this kind of just started on a whim, to be fairly honest. Like, there was some sort of notion that we wanted to do this, but to be truthfully honest, this really wasn't like planned out for 2 years at all. I don't think we even planned out for 1 year, to be honest.
I think we planned for at least 1 year. I think that was our main goal, was to try to do at least 1 year.
Yeah. But beyond that, it was really like just up to, I guess, chance, right? Whether or not we would continue, or anything could happen, right? During the 2 years that we were recording, anything could have happened to the point where we were unable to record, or we felt like, or we just didn't continue recording, and yet we still trudged on and continued recording. And during this time, a lot has changed for us in 2 years. Our situation's changed over time. We've done and seen things that were new. Some of them that we've never done before. And I personally have learned a lot doing this. Or, making these videos, or recording these videos, rather, to be more specific, for this channel. And I think, like, should this be the last episode that we ever release, that, like, maybe 2 or 3 years from now, I'll look back at this and be like, damn, we did something, like, special, It's not special in the eyes of others, because, there's hundreds and thousands of YouTubers who do basically the same things as us, right? Where they record videos, talk about their lives, or do some activity, and they post it online. We're, like, in the grand scheme of things, we're nothing. But I think in our own personal lives, this was something special that I didn't imagine it to become so special, because I thought it was, to truth be told, in the beginning, like, I even had the thought, like, this is kind of just like trying to satisfy my own like itch of trying out something that I've never done before, and I've seen so many quote-unquote YouTubers do it. Like, I wanted to get my hand on the pie, like a piece of that pie, to see what it's like. And I thought sincerely, like, for a little bit, that it would just be kind of like 6 months in, I get bored or whatever. But it didn't turn out that way. So it was truly something for me. I don't know how exactly it was for you. So how was it for you in this regard, I guess?
I'm kind of still a little shocked that we kept with it. I felt like there's a couple times where we were kind of over it,
Mm-hmm.
Like, we were really deciding if we wanted to do an episode one week,
Mm-hmm.
but we pushed through, which I'm glad we did. We're now at, like you said, maybe 106 episodes or something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy that we're in the triple digits. But yeah, like you said, like I thought we would be bored or get over it, honestly, a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how this year would have turned out. Like, I know the first year we were really determined,
Mm-hmm.
but this year we started strong, and then we were like, do we really need to?
Yeah.
After a while. But I am, I guess, glad we stuck with it, you know.
It's quite the, you know, I feel like if we were to go back at every single episode that we have recorded, listen to every single episode, it kind of contains, like, I feel like it shows a small but, you know, slow transformation over time of how we you know, went about doing or going about, like, you know, the way we talk in our videos, and like how our, like, even our video formats of like different things that we've done, and generally just what we think about certain things, right? I think one of my favorite episodes of all times is probably what was it, Animal Arena, which was which animal do you think you could win against?
That was a good one.
So it's very, you know, and another one of my more like favorite or fond like memories is like doing the impractical questions. I think that one gave us a ton of laughs at times, you know, coming up with the most ridiculous scenarios and ridiculous answers.
Laughs and face palms.
Yeah.
And
a lot of
disapproving tricks.
yeah. And a lot of don't sue us Disney moments.
And there was only a couple.
True. But reflecting it upon back now, it's like, yeah, we're finally, you know, at our 2-year mark. And is it something to, like, make a grand celebration out of? Are we gonna, like, go ahead and go crazy? Like, no. It's just, you know, this is just another part of our lives, right? Whether we continue doing this or not. In the end, life goes on. Nothing stays the same forever, I feel like. And so eventually, whether it's now or in the future, we're not going to be recording videos anymore, and there will be no more uploads to this channel. It just will inevitably happen. And so, like, with that kind of, you know, thought in mind, me and Saki were kind of talking to each other about, like, what do we want to do once we reach that 2-year mark? Because we didn't think, like, you know, at this point we were just kind of like, now we're here. What now? And we kind of both agreed that, like, we will upload when we want to upload. We will no longer have the weekly video format that we've done for the past 2 years. And the reasoning behind this is that, like, you know, life has changed for both of us. We both have different commitments or different interests, you know, that we want to pursue. And we especially don't want to run into the scenario of, like, we're forcing ourselves to record when we feel like we have nothing or we just aren't into it anymore. And, you know, there was never a hard rule that we had to upload once a week, but it just became kind of like the standard that we followed from the beginning. And I think, like, you know, it's time for, I guess, us to, like, essentially take a good rest, right? Whether we upload for next week again, you know, or you see us in a couple months, maybe even a year, who knows? we both do want to try and come back and, you know, record occasionally, but life certainly can be unpredictable, and we just don't know how it's going to turn out, especially once we stop the habit of recording once a week. And so, or having the weekly episodes rather go out. I think when we are older, we'll look back at this and be like, we were kind of crazy to have an episode every week. I don't know about you, because I'm thinking about it back right now, and I'm like, we were kind of like somewhat crazy to do an episode every week.
Yeah, honestly, I thought we would run out of content like 6 months in.
I'll be quite honest, your impractical, like your questions is really what gave us kind of like the base or foundations to continue doing that. If it wasn't for that, I feel like it would have been a lot harder.
Yeah. I think so. Even though I think, well, we didn't do 20 episodes. It was 18 because the last 2 we did 20 each.
Yeah.
We had 18 episodes. That's, well, like
a fourth.
Good chunk of it, yeah.
Yeah, about a fourth, yeah, of all the episodes that we put out for that year, for this year. Or no, a fourth of all the total math. Yeah, a fourth of all the total episodes that we've had. So it made a good chunk for the year of 2024. And so, you know, much props to your questions and your ability to think of such thought-provoking questions.
I also want to do a shout out to I never did my intro video still.
I completely forgot that we still had to record one for you, but we were just like, oh god, we gotta record. We should do that for this episode.
Yep.
Maybe the next episode that you'll see is an intro video 2 years later. You know,
2 years later, introducing Saki. Wait a minute.
Yeah, there were some things that I think we still had in mind that we wanted to try to record, but we just never did. But I feel like we did punch out most of the things we wanted to record.
Yeah, I would say so. I think at least most of it. I'm sure there's like random stuff we'll think of later down the line that might be funny.
Yeah.
But at least what we planned for, I think we did.
Yeah, definitely. Well. I think we did definitely achieve that. I just find it, you know, it just feels weird that we're talking about how it's the second anniversary, right? And it doesn't feel like it in a way. Like, it doesn't feel like we hit the 2-year mark, if that makes sense.
I guess. Like, for me, it feels like it's just been, like, one long year.
Yeah.
Like, I still don't believe this is the second year. I feel like it could just be going on forever.
I think a large part of it is because this wasn't, you know, this channel was never something that was required, right? There's no obligation to do this. There's no, we have to do this. It's not our job. It's just something we do on the side. And when you have something that's on the side, I feel like in this case, where it's like something that we just decided to do more or less on a whim, there is no I think what contributed to this the most is that we had no real end goal, right? We didn't have a concept of like how we want to end this channel. It was more like, we'll just keep doing what we can. And so there was never any discussion like, let's hit the 2-year and we're done, you know?
Yeah. You know what'd be funny though?
What?
If I just thought of this now. This is so random, but if we did like what other YouTubers do and be like, yeah, if this video gets this many likes, we'll come out with a part 2. And be like, you know what? If this video gets a single like, we'll do something else. If this video gets 3 views. Or something like very low, because we're not in it for views or likes or anything, but that'd be pretty funny.
Yeah. And the whole, I guess to reiterate, right? The whole purpose of this channel and the whole reason why we're uploading these videos for the past 2 years is that, like, we wanted to record our memories in order for us to look back into when we're in the future, right? Because I remember talking to you, I'm like, man, I've been forgetting a lot of stuff that happened even the past year, and it was becoming a problem. Most people, it's just like, whatever, life come and goes. I'll still remember the most important things in my life. But for me, it was like, I can't even remember what I did, like, even a week ago. So how am I going to remember something 6 months ago unless it was super significant? And even then, some details are being lost into the void. And we decided that this channel was a good way to look back and reflect upon our lives when we get older, in the event that we record and stop eventually. So that, like, who knows, maybe your future children could be like, what was it like back then, right? And you could show these videos. That was kind of like the intent of these videos, was to, like, give a glimpse in our lives and also have it as a memory. And we decided to make this public because we're just two ordinary dudes. We're not people who have ambitions to become a famous YouTuber. We don't have any, like, we're not like some millionaire vlogging about their lives. We're not like a person who's super knowledgeable about, like, a specific, like, fashion products or anything to give advice to other people who are trying to, improve their sense. We are literally just two normal dudes, just, working our normal jobs, living our lives. And I think that kind of also, like, I feel like that's kind of like something that isn't too common out there in YouTube. I mean, there's definitely people who vlog and be like, here's my everyday life, but even that feels a little superficial. Not to complain about people who do those, it's just like, because they have to set up the camera, they're looking for a specific angle. We're just two dudes yapping. That's it.
Yeah, we're not at least I'm not photogenic.
No, I'm not either.
I just saw a picture of myself, like a family New Year photo. I'm like, damn, the hell hit me. Like, I was just like, dang, I'm ugly. Like, you know how, like, the camera adds 15 pounds? Yeah, well, it said, screw you, I'm adding 30. So it's just like, dang, my that, what, not photogenic or whatever the word is?
Yeah.
And the answer is, hell yeah. That's why we're doing voice only.
Yeah. Like, we are truly just two ordinary dudes. And so whoever, finds comfort in two ordinary dudes just sharing their lives, sometimes having the time of their lives while doing so, I hope that one day you'll come across this video and, like, see that it's nothing about the views, it's nothing about reaching out to certain people. It's just our memories, and we want to share them. And we hope that you enjoy our memories or opinions that we've and our stories that we've shared. But yeah, I guess one other thing I do want to talk about is, do you remember when we first hit 10 views on that Brave Frontier video?
Yeah, not gonna lie, I was one of those views. Because I remember their first year, before you started your job at where I work, I was bored as hell. So I would literally watch our videos. So if videos have 1 view, most likely me.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I've watched most of our videos. But yes, I do remember when that was literally our first and probably only video that got more than 1 view. we've had one other one, a random life advice one.
Yeah.
That one got like 3. We're
Yeah.
like, okay, we're off, we're schmoving.
And like, I remember being so amazed. I'm like, 10 people watched our videos. Well, technically 9, because I think you did admit right away that you were one of the video viewers.
Oh yeah.
But I was just like, that's crazy. Who on earth would watch our videos, right? Like, because even then I was still in disbelief. I was just like, oh, we don't like advertise our videos. It literally was just thrown out there with no like tags, no whatsoever. It's literally just our video, you know?
Yeah, and what also still surprises me is that game's been gone for so long. Like, 9 random people were thinking about Brave Frontier. Isn't that weird?
It is. And what's
Just like-
crazier is that it's snowballed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember it going to 30 views, and I remember prior to recording one of our episodes, like, dude, did you see that we have 30 views on our video? And you're like, what?
Yeah, I was not expecting really any views on any video except for mine, but I think that's our most popular video, right?
It is. It is, in fact, at this time of recording, it is at 121 views.
Wow. 120 people watched that video.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like, it's kind of comforting knowing that 120 people clearly knew what Brave Frontier was. It's not like something that would, our video would never pop up on a random feed. Like, I feel like it would just never, right? Regardless of the algorithm saying, oh, it's Brave Frontier, so people who are interested in Brave Frontier, you know, that watched Brave Frontier a long time ago would pop up eventually in the future. It's like, no, like, I feel like you had to actively search Brave Frontier, look at our video and be like, oh, these guys know Brave Frontier, let's click on it.
Yeah, and again, our video specifically too, like, you're on YouTube and you see, you know, maybe more popular people that talk about it, and you happen to click ours. I'm not sure if that was a mistake. Because what are the chances you click our video? Just, you're like, yeah, Brave Frontier. And then you're scrolling, because we're not the number one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You probably scrolled for a while. Like, you went out of your way to find ours.
Yeah. And this was, and you, as you said, this was after Brave Frontier had closed. At least in the global market, I think it had closed by that time. I don't remember exactly. It might have been just like a couple months after we had Brave Frontier had closed. I don't remember exact timing. I'm gonna have to look it up. But like, this was long after. I feel like this was long in terms of like game time too, right? Because there's so many new games coming out, so many like news going around, right? That like, it's an eternity. Even if it was like 3 months after the game closed, like people were still looking up Brave Frontier.
Yeah, I honestly didn't know many people knew that game, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I think I introduced it to you, right?
Yes, you did.
I remember I was on my phone and I'm like, I need a phone game because I'm bored as hell.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that and I'm like, cartoonish, I'm like, fighting. I'm like, okay, cool. I downloaded it. No clue what I was doing for like 90% of the time. And I'm like, oh, hey, this is kind of cool. And then I showed you, and I remember we got addicted. We spent so much money. I spent at least $100 on that game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's just so random that we're getting views that aren't me.
yeah, it felt strange. And then it went right back to normal with like no views happening. I mean, understandably, we weren't disappointed or anything, but we're just like, this one's a weird one.
Yeah. Like, out of all the videos, that one, I thought maybe our Halo or Borderlands ones, like, those are more popular than Brave Frontier, let's be real.
Yeah.
But no, that one was our number one.
Yeah.
I forget the actual topic. We just kind of went off.
Yeah. It was just, yeah, I was basically bringing up just like the fact that we had, you know, something that was surprising for this channel was like we had that many views for this in our 2 years, which I never expected. I honestly like, truthfully, to be told, I only expected like maybe 5 views at most for any video.
Yeah, that sounds about right. 5 or less.
Yeah. But, you know, to end this all out, you know, I'll ask you a question and then we'll, you know, say our closing remarks, but a couple questions actually. What was your favorite episode, if you remember, that we recorded?
Ooh. There's a lot of good ones. I don't know if it's an episode, but maybe a series we did.
Mm-hmm.
Was the just random life stories that happened to us. So like the time you got locked out.
Uh-huh.
The many times of failed beach parties. By the way, I don't remember which ones I told, but I know there's a lot more. Or, you know, when I went to Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
where we went, just our life story, like the funny story ones. I think I like those the most.
Mm. I think my favorite video was I think it has to be what's it called? It was the meal for two when we went to Japantown or Little Tokyo?
Yeah, Little Tokyo.
Little Tokyo, when we talked about the udon, the okonomiyaki, and the sushi.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
I think that one I really liked just because it was one of those like we actually went out for something, tried something that we wasn't in our usual area, and like seriously thought about like, is it worth it, is it not, you know?
Yeah, I now that you bring this episode up, I remember we were watching, what was it, World Trigger, I think?
Yeah.
And they were eating okonomiyaki. And I'm literally like, hey, want to go to LA?
Yeah.
Get some okonomiyaki? And you're like, yeah, sure. And that's how it began.
Yeah.
We were literally just watching people eat food, and we're like, all right, let's start Googling.
Yeah. I think that has to be my favorite episode because I remember we were so invested in it, like to figure out if it was really worth or not, and if it was actually good, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And the udon still being one of the best things.
Oh yeah.
I feel like we ate for its price point and everything. So good. But yeah. But that was my favorite episode. And then I guess as a bonus, I think you and I both like this for a video title, right? Because I always tried being creative with our titles. I tried making it like relevant to the video, but also like make it interesting as much as possible. And one of my favorite video titles, I think you would like this. I think you like this too, because I remember you talking about this, is our Japan trip. And it was the episode about Mount Fuji, and then I titled it, "We Came, We Didn't See, and We Left."
I remember. Yes, that one was great. That was probably one of the best titles ever.
And I remember having that ingenious like light bulb. Like I felt like I was a genius, right, for this. I had the light bulb go off my head after we recorded the episode. I was like, oh my god, I know what I'm going to title this. Because I remember thinking of the phrase, I came, I saw, and I conquered.
Right. We didn't see.
And we left. And so that was probably my favorite like just video title of all time. Like I don't think I could ever top that.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. I guess the other one I kind of liked in terms of just like more fun titles. It wasn't really creative, but like, it was a meal for two episode, and it was titled "Burgers Galore and High Octane Energy Drink Crashes."
Oh yeah, that one. Man, you're bringing up memories.
So many memories, man. So many memories. Ugh.
And also, I do want to point out, I remember our first, what, 2 or 3 episodes, we went from a stick figure to an actual picture.
Yes. I remember because I was like, I don't know what to do for a background. I'm gonna just put the stick figure here, and so I did for 3 episodes in a row.
And now we have like, at pictures. We still don't have like our channel picture, but we have pictures.
No.
That's good enough.
Uh, man, we're a mess.
And that's okay.
Indeed. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. So before we go, do you have any statements that you would like to say, Saki? Whether it is our final episode or future episodes that come out irregularly, for anyone who has gotten to this point watching, and to yourself in the future, you know, what would you like to say?
I'd probably tell myself, because I'll probably go back maybe like a decade from now. Just remember we had our YouTube channel. I'll go back and I'll say, you did it. Surprisingly, but you did it. Like we were just 2 dudes. I forget how it started, like exactly, but we're just like, yeah, we should probably just start a channel and just start talking.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like, yeah, that's a good idea. 2 years later, here we are. Still not canceled.
And then for me, for those of you who watched our videos, whether it's all of them or some of them, or even one, you know, thank you, right? It's not necessarily we were doing this for views again, but thank you for at least watching a good portion of the video, listening to our silly, you know, talks, antics, or thoughts. And, you know, thank you for, you know, allowing us to share these memories with you during these 2 years. You know, it's a blessing that we were able to do this for 2 years straight. And similar to Saki, you know, for myself, you did it, right? 2 years of this that I never imagined would be possible from the beginning, with 107 videos, including this one. Life certainly has its, you know, quirks for all the oddities that it is. And I hope that when I do look back at this channel in the future, that like that I'm still happy, and you know, I'm able to look back on this fondly. And for those of you who stumble upon this in the far future, whether it's 3 years from now, or even a couple of months from now, just know that life doesn't need to be all that exciting. It doesn't need to be dramatic. Nor does it need to be, you know, filled with pain. For people like us, you know, ordinary dudes, sometimes just moving along in a normal life is just as good, if not the best. And so, to end this episode, I would like to also, you know, take this time to, say thank you, Saki, for being on this journey with me.
Hey, we started it together, literally at the same exact moment as we were talking about it.
Yep. And, thank you for all the crazy shit that we did. And yeah. I'll be ending the episode here. So I'm Jit.
I'm Saki.
And this is The Casuals. And hopefully we'll see you one day again. Bye-bye.